How's it going, Top Price TV? My name is Jack and welcome to my reaction video to the appointment of Steve Cooper. He was announced yesterday for me and I think, I'm pretty pleased with the appointment. He probably wasn't my number one manager that I wanted to see brought in. I think for me it would have been Chris Wilder. I did watch a very good interview on the League 72 channel where it was with Chris Wilder, and I think he handled himself really, really well, and he said the right things that wanted me to get him in. But I think, if it's the way we want to go, obviously Murphy getting us in young players, bringing in a manager who's really good with youngsters. You look at what he did with the England under-17s and various other England age group setups. I think it's a good sign. It's a good appointment. I think we've brought in a manager who fits the philosophy that we're looking to go down, it seems. He was the number one on the list. We didn't have to settle for like second or third. Well, he's number one on the list from what they're saying. I think he probably was. I think Murphy does like to work with youngsters, get young players playing. And, there's one man who we can get in who's perfect for that, and that's Steve Cooper. I think he did really well at Swansea. 2 good seasons there, getting playoffs both times, getting to the playoff final. Last season, he left. I'm not sure if it was, I think it was something to do with recruitment. Don't hold me on that. But he wasn't happy about something, so he decided to leave. But I think, to get him in, I'm pretty pleased with that one. Like I say, really good with youngsters, and if we're looking to go down that route, then I'm really happy with that. I think, for me, I mentioned this on one of the, it's either the Red and White show or a different show that I helped out on, where I said, as long as we bring in a manager who comes to fit a philosophy, he comes to, the club have done their research, they've got a plan, they know what they want to do, where they want to go, then I'm happy. I didn't want to just bring in a manager because they're a name or because they're available. I wanted the club to bring in a manager to match a philosophy, to match a plan, and I think that's what we've done. I really think that's what we've done, and I'm really, really happy with that. I think, he's going to work wonders with the likes of Myton, Johnson. I think he's worked with Myton before. Garner's definitely worked with him before. He had him as a captain in one of his youth teams. So I think, it's going to be really interesting to see how he does with some of these younger players, how they will improve under him. I'm not too sure how keen Chris Hughton was on youngsters. I think he preferred more experienced players. You see the likes of sort of Bong getting starts. You're sort of seeing him bringing in the likes of Knockout instead of playing some of the youngsters we have. So I think, bringing in someone like Cooper, whose main sort of benefit to bringing him in is his use of young players. So I think that's really positive and really a really good sign to see. I think listening to his interview that he did on the Forest channel, he said the right things. He really sounded really enthusiastic. He wanted to make this club something the fans could be proud of. He was coming in here to improve the club, not to improve himself, which I think's a big thing. A lot of managers could come to Forest, see, I could get them up the table a bit, maybe sneak them into the playoffs and then move on to a Premier League side or whatever like that. But Cooper's come here to improve the club. It's not about him. It's not about his backroom staff. It's about what they can do for the club. He wants to give the club an identity again. Play football that's gonna please the fans, and I'm really chuffed with the appointment. Like I say, he probably wouldn't have been my first choice, but thinking about it now, seeing the way that he looked so enthusiastic and just really like he wanted to really succeed at the club, and he was really excited to be here. I was really happy to hear that. And it sort of changed my mind a bit, maybe changed my perspective on the appointment. We can expect him to probably play 3 at the back, and we played 3 at the back against Huddersfield, and that worked really, really well. I think we've got some really good centre-backs at the club. We've got a natural left-sided centre-back in McKenna. Worrell's really good on the ball. Figueiredo in between them, or Mbiso in between them, maybe even Eli. We've got a wealth of good centre-backs, and then Jed Spence looking like a real good recruitment, so too is Max Lowe. I'd love to try and get them on permanence. I don't know how likely that would be, but if they can stick with this sort of form, then why not? Why not? So yeah, overall, pretty pleased with that. I think he'll do. I think he'll do a good job. I'm feeling a bit more optimistic. I think a bit of optimism's started to brew around the club, around the fan base again. People are starting to feel happier now that Houghton's gone and a new sort of era is starting, and a manager who looks really interested and actually wants to be here and really wants the club to grow rather than himself. I think it's really exciting times. So yeah, I'm really happy with the appointment of Cooper. So let us know down below what you think, what your reactions are. Smash the like button if you haven't. If you have enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you haven't already. And come on, you Reds!